Welcome back, crafters. Today we're going to make a hex grid, or you can use it to make a beehive template. To begin, taking your poster board and putting it to the mat side up, you are going to make a tick mark every half an inch. We're doing every half an inch so that our hexes will turn out to be 1 inch across. Once you've put a half-inch tick mark across the top of the poster board, slide down to the bottom and do a half an inch across that. Once the top and bottom are marked at half-inch increments, you're going to go ahead, grab your ruler, and you're going to make a line top to bottom. Do this for the entire width of your page. Once the entire thing is lined out every half an inch, you're going to take your paper, turn it to the side, and every 1/4 inch, you are going to make a tick mark on the top and the bottom again. And surprise, surprise, once that is done, you are going to make lines from 1/4 mark to 1/4 mark until you have a gridded page. I'd like to mention that when you're doing this, make sure to use a pencil and draw your lines lightly, because when all is said and done, we are going to go back and erase everything. Once completed, turn your page so that the half-inch marks are going across your page horizontally and your 1/4 inches are going vertically, which would be top to bottom. At the first intersection, make a small dot and then go up to the top of the page, make another dot, and then go to the 3rd cross mark over, make another dot. Then you're going to go back, and on the 3rd one down, you're going to make a dot, and go over one and down, make a dot, go over one and up, make a dot. Connect these dots. Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying by the picture here. What I like about this method is I don't need to do math, really, other than, measurements. And I don't need a protractor or anything crazy like that. I can just grid it all out. It takes some time, but you'll see the end results are completely worth it. Once you get those mapped out, follow the same strategy you did before. Basically, you're going to be making mountains and valleys, or a zigzag pattern, or a chevron pattern, whatever you'd like to call it, all the way across the page. Once you get your top and bottom of your hexes lined out, you can go ahead and connect the dots. You'll see here that it really does begin to take on that hex pattern fairly quickly. You'll see here when I get to the 3rd hex, I'm going to switch over to using a pen. You're going to want to use a pen for the entirety of your hex grid, unless you want a pencil. The choice is yours, but I'll use a pen so that when I go back and erase my grid marks, they disappear, but my grid stays there. Grid out the entire top row. When we get to the next row of hexes, basically you're just going to repeat the pattern from the very top row. So the first one will be a valley line down. Then you'll go up to make a mountain, and then a valley, and then a mountain. And you're going to repeat this straight across. When I do the hex grid, I like to do all my up and down zigzags first, and then when I'm finished with the whole page, then I'll come back and make all of the vertical lines that separate the hexes. Next, when you do the 4th row, you're going to go in the reverse. So your points will be pointing towards each other. like you see me doing here. And then just go straight across the page and repeat. Here you're just going to see me at the very end putting in the vertical lines to finish off the hex grid pattern. Next, you're going to grab an eraser. I choose the industrial size eraser from Dollar Tree, and you're going to erase every single one of your grid mark lines. Depending on the size of the paper, depends on how long you're going to be erasing. I like to give my hex grids an aged effect, so I take a bit of water, just in a cup, and then add some hazelnut Waverly chalk paint. I'm gonna make a stain once I've got this all mixed up, as you can see me doing here. Once the paint and water are all mixed up, I grab a baby wipe straight out of the container so it's still got that dampness to it. Fold it up and dip it into the paint and water mixture. I squeeze out the excess and then lightly begin to scrub it over the top of my hex grid. Now you see here it didn't give much of a color, so I just went back, didn't squeeze out as much, and went back over it. I like the sepia tone that it gives the map. Then I blot it dry with a paper towel. Once blotted dry, set it aside so that the whole paper can dry. You may want to put a heavy book or something on top of it to keep it from curling. You'll see here that I took some clear contact paper that I found at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to measure it out and then peel the pieces apart and cover the front of the hex grid. This will make it more durable so that whatever project you have in mind for it, you don't have to worry about it getting terribly destroyed. Now, it does take forever to get the plastic part off, but once you get it started, it's a fairly easy shot. I pull the edge off, spin my paper around to the correct sizing, lay just a little bit of the plastic over the top, bend the paper back, and slowly begin peeling the protective paper back so that the sticky side adheres nice and smoothly to the hex grid. Once the contact paper is adhered, you can bend back the sides to wrap around, or you can trim it off. Optionally, you can take this to like a Staples, or if you have one, laminate it yourself. If you're using this hex grid as a tabletop RPG prop, you can use a dry erase marker on it and, well, erase it easily. That's one of the great things about contact paper. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you stick around by hitting that subscribe button, comment, share, and like. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you on Monday.